movie opens with a teenage girl running to school. She's a cute girl with a cheeky smile named Futaba Yoshioka. Futaba is starting her second year in high school, and she's looking forward to it. When she was in middle school, she was lonely and friendless because of her looks, but after having her heart broken by the boy she liked, she decided to change her entire behavior. Futaba is very pretty, and the boys notice, making her classmates jealous of her. To avoid being excluded and bullied by the girls again, she became the archetype of a clumsy and graceless girl. She doesn't wear makeup or cute clothes, preferring to be seen as a tomboy. Her plan works, and she makes many girlfriends. The girls stop picking on Futaba and shift their focus to another girl in their class, a pretty girl called Yuri. Much like they did with Futaba in middle school, they talk and laugh at her behind her back, something that bothers Futaba a lot. She knows how it feels to be treated as different because of her looks. At the same time, she's afraid that if she says something to defend Yuri, her friends will turn their backs on her. One day, her friends are talking about Yuri while Futaba stuffs her face with food. Her friends jokingly suggest that if she put effort into her appearance, she would be quite popular too. Futaba quickly refutes them, explaining that she has no interest in boys, and lying that she has never been in love before. Suddenly, someone accidentally bumps into her, causing her food to plummet towards the ground. Just in the nick of time, though, the same person swiftly retrieves it and tosses it back into her hands. When Futaba looks back to see who, her breath catches and her pulse races in absolute shock. She barely hears her friends commenting that he's the new transfer school in their year group. The only thing on her mind is that she knows that voice, and she certainly knows that boy. She remembers her first love, a boy called Kou, and the resemblance is uncanny. Futaba was never able to forget Kou and the love she harbored for him. It is the kind of love that grips the soul tightly, refusing to let go, no matter how many years go by. She hasn't seen Kou since he abruptly left town without saying goodbye. No one knew what happened to him. Giving an excuse to her friends, she runs after the boy, remembering flashes of him as a middle schooler. She reaches him and eagerly calls his surname, Tanaka, while another boy calls him Mabuchi. Futaba pauses, staring wide-eyed at his back. His friend passes by her, calling him, and he finally turns around. The boy has a closed-off expression, and doesn't seem to recognize her when he glances in her direction. Futaba is overwhelmed by a crushing wave of disappointment. It would be too good to be true. Later on, she sees Mabuchi again on her way home and decides to follow him. He stops in front of the same shrine where, years back, she and Kou talked for the first time. Futaba curiously watches him from a distance when it starts raining. The coincidence is too much to ignore. We see a flashback of her memories of the shrine. Futaba is walking home when it starts pouring rain, so she quickly seeks shelter. She finds it in the shrine, but she isn't alone. There's a boy from her school there too, waiting for the rain to stop. It's Kou Tanaka. Kou is a kind, bright kid who always smiles, no matter what. Futaba is shy and quiet. Kou makes small talk to make her more comfortable, and they talk for the first time. Futaba will never forget the bright smile on his face, so different from the morose expression Mabuchi wears. The past repeats itself when both teenagers seek shelter in the same place. Futaba tentatively approaches him, asking if he's Tanaka, and he denies it. His surname is Mabuchi. Futaba apologizes for her mistake and turns to leave, disappointed. Before she can move any further, though, the boy says the same thing Kou Tanaka said to her years back. Slowly, Futaba turns to look at him, and he smiles, confirming that he is in fact Kou Tanaka. She excitedly calls him Tanaka, and he explains that he doesn't use that surname anymore. After his parents got divorced, he stopped using his father's name. The divorce is also the reason why he moved to another town out of the blue, back in middle school. He calls Futaba dense for not realizing it before. Kou acts rude and aloof with Futaba, treating her as if she's not worth his time. Futaba finds his attitude very different from the way he once was. Back at home, Futaba starts going through her pictures, wondering what happened to him during those years away. He's the first boy who noticed her not as a pretty face, but as a person. That day under the rain, he saw her struggling with her wet clothes and selflessly offered her his towel. After that, they couldn't stop staring at each other before looking away in embarrassment. One day, Kou invited her to the summer festival. It would have been their first date. Futaba got dressed in her yukata and waited for him for hours, but he never showed up. When the new semester started, she found out he wasn't enrolled anymore. That summer, Futaba discovered what it feels like to fall in love and to have her heart broken. After that fateful day, her heart became closed off to any other boy that wasn't Kou Tanaka. After finding out he's back, she can't stop thinking about him for a second. The following day, at school, she's waiting in line for her change money from the school's cafeteria, when the lunch lady accuses her of not paying. It's humiliating, and everyone starts whispering about her, including her so-called friends. Yuri, the cute girl from her class, tries to speak up on her behalf, but Kou comes to the rescue. He informs the lunch lady he saw Futaba paying. Two other classmates, an unfriendly girl called Miro, and Kou's closest friend, Kaminato, also speak up on her behalf. Futaba is grateful when the situation is diffused. When Kou leaves without saying anything to her, she goes after him to thank him for his help. He's cold to her, pretending to be unaffected by her presence. Futaba brushes his behavior off and smiles brightly at him. Kou remains stoic and aloof. He mentions that her friends are too fake. That must mean Futaba is fake too. The words are like a slap, because she knows her friends are fake. The only reason why she hangs out with them is that she doesn't want to be alone and isolated again. She watches as he leaves, feeling miserable and lonely. Then she puts on her fake smile and goes back to class. Kou's words remain etched in her brain, though, making her doubt herself. Yuri watches her from a distance, feeling bad that she didn't stand up for her sooner. She decides to apologize to Futaba and offers her some of her food. Futaba is very thankful to her. Her friends, on the other hand, snidely watch as Yuri goes back to her seat. They start talking behind Yuri's back again. this time loud enough for the girl to hear. Futaba watches as Yuri stands up from her seat, probably upset at the way the other girls are talking about her. She remembers Kou's words about her friends and decides she has had enough. She had been in Yuri's shoes before and no one came to her rescue. She doesn't wish the same to happen to Yuri, so she defends her, saying that if her friends could attract more boys, they would. They are just jealous of her. Yuri and Miro hear her defense and they are both surprised. Her friends, on the other hand, are not happy with her behavior and leave her alone. Feeling miserable and lonely again, Futaba has her lunch alone. Kou sees her looking sad and can't help himself. He approaches her to ask what's wrong. Futaba vents to him that she probably lost her friends after defending Yuri, and a part of her blames him. She explains that after he left, things were not easy for her. Girls always picked on her because of her appearance, and boys only wanted to go out with her. She doesn't want the same to happen to her in high school. Futaba starts crying in front of Kou. A group of boys is approaching them, so Kou does the only thing he can think of. He hugs her to his chest, hiding her crying face. Futaba is so shocked that she stops crying. Her heart is racing, and her mind is buzzing with excitement. Kou surprisingly comforts her, and makes her feel better about herself. He had no idea she felt so lonely and isolated, not when he remembers her being quite popular. He feels bad for judging her too harshly. When things get too intimate between them, he steps back and goes back to his rude behavior, demanding she stops calling him Tanaka. As he leaves, she calls him Kou instead. Futaba's fears of being alone remain unfounded. When she volunteers to be class leader, Yuri, Muro, Kaminato, and Kou volunteer too. She starts spending more time with them, and soon they all become friends, despite being quite an unusual group. Futaba never hangs out with her old friends again, and learns that people can be nice. During orientation weekend, they all have to stay in a lodging together to build their sense of teamwork and collaboration. Futaba is the leader of the group, and ends up doing everything alone. When she's struggling to carry a heavy pan, Kou laughs at her and refuses to help. He goes to help Yuri with a menial task instead, much to Futaba's consternation. A boy from another class watches her struggling and decides to help. He's a short, cute boy named Kikuchi. He feels bad that she's doing everything alone, but Futaba, as always, is a people pleaser. Kikuchi admires her tenacity and determination. From that moment on, he starts watching her more from a distance. Later on, there's a presentation, and Futaba's terrible. The teacher, who happens to be Kou's older brother, Yoichi, asks them to do the presentation again. Futaba is embarrassed in front of the whole class, and it's only then that her group feels bad for leaving her to carry the weight alone. It's late in the night when Kou wakes up to drink some water and sees Futaba sleeping. She was working on the new presentation alone, and ended up falling asleep. He approaches her and watches the way she looks so soft and relaxed as she sleeps. He sits next to her to observe her, feeling his heart beating faster at such proximity. If anyone asks him what he feels for her, he would lie that he doesn't care for her at all. The truth is that, much like Futaba, he never forgot her. She's his first love, and he still has feelings for her. His internal issues prevent him from getting too close, but at the same time, he can't keep away from her. Not after he finally has the chance of getting to know her again. Before returning to his room, Kou takes a moment to write the presentation, and gently places his coat over Futaba's shoulders. Futaba wakes a few hours later, still dazed by sleep. It takes her a moment to notice she has a coat that doesn't belong to her. Her heart skips a beat when she realizes that the coat belongs to Kou. She also notices that he wrote the presentation. Much to her relief. Quietly, Futaba goes outside to search for him, and finds him sitting on a fence overlooking the town and the mountains. The sky is a pinkish color that can be seen either at sunset or sunrise. Futaba points out that she doesn't know if it's early or late, much like Kou. She never knows when he's happy or angry, and his constant mood changes are giving her whiplash. Kou doesn't know what to say. He likes her, and it's precisely because of that fact he wants to keep his distance. For him, Futaba is like a ray of sunshine, always bright and warm. The last thing he wants is to extinguish her light with his darkness. Unfortunately for him and his resolve, Futaba is stubborn, and determined to be his friend. Back in the dormitories, their friends all get together with the presentation they wrote to help Futaba. They find it very funny when they discover they all wrote something. Then they go outside to watch the sunrise with Kou and Futaba. For someone afraid that she would never have friends, seeing them all gathered there together makes Futaba very happy. Back to school, they decide to get together at least once a week. One day, after the teacher asks them to write a report, Futaba and Kou start bickering about who is the best. While they go back and forth, Yuri watches with a hint of jealousy and confusion. When their meeting is over and they are going home, Yuri asks if Futaba likes Kou. Not knowing what to say, Futaba lies. She promises Yuri she feels nothing beyond friendship with Kou. It's a relief to Yuri, who admits she has feelings for Kou, and wants to confess to him. Futaba is stunned. After Yuri leaves, Futaba meets Kou to write the report. She starts thinking about her feelings for him as she stares at him. She doesn't want to admit that she likes him. At the same time, she can't stop admiring how bony his hands are, and how neat his handwriting is. Kou notices her staring at him, and straight off the bat questions if she likes him. Futaba quickly explains that she doesn't, she could never, and she won't. Kou believes her, and apologizes for his assumption. He also asks her not to look at him as if he were the old Kou she knew. He isn't that person anymore, just like she isn't the old shy Futaba. Futaba promises herself she doesn't have feelings for him. He's rude, inconsistent, and mean. There's no way she could fall for him again. After she delivers their report to the teacher, she finds Kou waiting for her. All her promises from before go down the drain because he's there, waiting. Later that same day, she meets Yuri and Muro in a cafe and apologizes to Yuri for lying. She admits she has feelings for Kou, and has had them for a long time. She didn't say anything to Yuri because she was afraid of losing her friendship. After her declaration, Yuri smiles and replies that she already knew. They promise each other to do their best, and not get mad if one of them wins Kou over. Before Futaba can say anything to Yuri, she walks out to go to the restroom, where she starts crying. Futaba was the first person to stand up for her, to treat her as a normal girl, and she would forever be grateful. Not only that, Yuri knows Kou has feelings for Futaba too. At the same time, she really likes him, and doesn't want to give up without a fight. Meanwhile, Futaba confesses to Murao that she is afraid to lose Yuri, but that it isn't fair to her to not be honest. When Yuri comes back, the girls notice her red eyes right away. She tries to play it off, but Futaba feels bad. Seeing the tension between them, Murao decides to confess her own feelings. She likes their teacher, Yoichi, Kou's brother. Her diversion works. She informs the girls that she will be neutral in their quest to win Kou's affection, but that their friendship needs to be strong. Yuri and Futaba agree, and they all hug, feeling relieved. Back at school, Kou is studying with Kaminato when a group of boys starts gossiping about him. Kaminato gets angry and wants to fight, but Kou stops him. He doesn't care about other people's opinions. Deep down, though, he's glad for Kaminato's loyalty and friendship. Later on, Futaba approaches him as he's leaving to go home. After her talk to Yuri and Murao, she's ready to win him over. The first thing she needs to do is clear the air between them. She assures him that she isn't waiting for the old Kou to come back. What she wants is to get to know the new Kou. She wants to know everything that happened during the time they were separated. Kou looks bewildered and uncomfortable. He snaps at her to stop bothering him. Futaba's surprised by his bitter tone. Once again, he confuses her with his hot and cold mood. After this tense conversation, Kou disappears again. When they have a group meeting, he doesn't show up. Tired of his skittish behavior, Futaba goes after him. She's very surprised when she knocks on the door and her teacher opens it. It's only then that she discovers he's Kou's brother. His brother is surprisingly more open than him, and he explains to her what happened during those years to make Kou so snappish. After he went to stay with their mother in another city, she got very sick. Kou was the one to look after her, and it was hard for him. Their mother slowly wasted away until she passed, and Kou was the only one there to watch. Deep down, he's still the same boy Futaba fell for, kind and with a pure heart. At the moment, he's living in the shadows of his grief. He needs someone to pull him away from his misery. Knowing about his past is the last piece of the puzzle that Futaba needed to understand Kou better. After talking to his brother, she quickly looks for him in the city. She finds him sitting alone, feeding a cat. He looks so sad and lonely that her heart clenches in pain. Kou is not surprised to see Futaba there. Like a moth to a flame, she's always following him around. Futaba admits his brother told her about his past. Kou confides in her that he feels guilty about his mother's passing. He studied hard to become a doctor someday, and give her a comfortable life. While he spent time planning his future, he forgot to live in the present. His biggest regret is that he didn't spend more time with his mother. Then he could do nothing to help her overcome her disease. After his confession, Kou turns to leave Futaba behind. This time, though, Futaba won't take it. She goes after him, pushing him to the ground. They fall, and she starts yelling that she wants to understand him. She believes he has to stop pushing people away because he's afraid of being hurt again. Kou is speechless. She says that he needs someone to protect him too, because he's also important. He suddenly hugs her tight and cries on her shoulder. When they go back home together, they stop in front of the shrine. Before Kou can leave, Futaba holds him back. She points out the poster of the summer festival. She confesses to him that she waited there and cried when he didn't show up. Kou feels his heart break because he really wanted to go. To compensate for the date he missed, he invites her to go again. This time, he promises he will show up. Futaba can't believe her luck. She feels as if she's finally reaching his heart. Her happiness is about to be crushed, though, because on the day of the festival, as she waits for him with a huge smile, he calls her. He won't be able to come. Futaba wonders what happened, but before he can answer, a feminine voice speaks in the background. It feels like someone has pulled the rug out from under her. Not only did he break his promise, but he is also with another girl. Futaba didn't think her heart could break again. But it does. Futaba doesn't hear from Kou again that summer. When classes start again, she's afraid that he won't be there, but he is. She has no idea if she wants to be happy or angry at him. It's worse when she approaches him and he pretends like nothing happened. Like he didn't stand her up again. For the rest of the day, he's aloof and isolated, messaging someone. His friends are worried about him. During their weekly meeting, Kaminato mentions that there's a girl Kou met during the vacation. It's this girl Kou keeps messaging. Futaba overhears, but pretends she's fine with it. Later on, as she goes back home alone, she remembers a talk she had with Yuri. She told Futaba that she confessed her feelings to Kou, and he gently rejected her. She thought for sure it was because of Futaba. Futaba is crushed. She keeps wondering who the mysterious girl is, and if she's important to Kou. Before she arrives home, she sees Kou in a coffee shop sleeping, and decides to go talk to him. He's surprised to see her there, and invites her to sit with him. His phone starts ringing non-stop, but he doesn't pick it up. They stay in silence for a moment, before Kou proposes they hang out to compensate for the festival. Futaba eagerly accepts. She sees it as a chance to spend time with him, and maybe discover who the girl is. Before they can think about what they want to do, his phone starts ringing again. This time, he answers. Futaba glances at the cell phone and sees the name Narumi. Her good mood goes down the drain again. The girl wants to meet Kou, and by his worried face, he wants to go. Futaba dismisses him, pretending she's fine with it. Deep down, she feels as if she's already lost him to this mysterious girl. He abruptly leaves, not even saying a proper goodbye to her. As she's commiserating about her bad luck in love, the cute boy from the other class, Kikuchi, approaches her. Meanwhile, Kou talks to Narumi, but she has nothing important to say to him. He regrets leaving Futaba and decides to go back to her. When he reaches the coffee shop, though, he sees her talking to another boy. Futaba is laughing and talking animatedly to the boy, something Kou painfully realizes she has never done with him. It's time for the school festival, and every class does something special. Futaba's class prepared a gender-bender-made cafe, with the girls wearing suits and the boys wearing cute dresses. Futaba is happy that their idea is working, until Narumi shows up. Kou takes her to the table while Futaba and her friends watch. Kou is very caring with Narumi. He isn't harsh or rude when talking to her, quite the opposite. He treats Narumi as if she's a doll made out of glass. Futaba has to swallow her jealousy to keep going. Luckily for her, Kikuchi shows up and distracts her. Now it's time for Kou to watch Futaba with Kikuchi. Differently from Kou, who is always criticizing her, Kikuchi compliments her appearance. He invites her to go watch him play with his band at the end of the festival. Futaba sees no second intentions from Kikuchi. She thinks he's only being friendly. As Kou watches their interaction with a suspicious expression, Narumi notices the way he looks at Futaba. Later on, Futaba goes to the concert alone. Kou is walking with Narumi when he sees her. Not caring what Narumi thinks, he goes after Futaba. Narumi tries to make Kou leave, but he refuses. He approaches Futaba and tries to apologize about the festival, but she can't hear a thing. He's talking very close to her face when someone bumps into him, making him accidentally kiss Futaba. The world falls apart around them as their lips touch. When they separate, Kou decides to act as if nothing happened. His careless attitude angers Futaba, and she leaves him talking to himself. A few moments later, Kou finds her alone in an empty classroom. Kou thinks she's upset about the kiss, and promises her it was nothing. Futaba is angry because that was her first kiss. It hurts that she kissed the boy she liked, and he doesn't even care about it. Kou feels bad, though deep down he's glad he was her first kiss. In a moment of courage, he wonders if she wants the kiss to be real. Futaba is confused by what he means, until he gets very close to her. Then, he tenderly kisses her again. This time, he means it. Later, Kou properly apologizes for the festival. He explains that Narumi's father passed away that same day, and she needed help. They became friends because they had similar backgrounds. Her parents were also divorced, and her father was sick. They ended up supporting each other, though it was never romantic. Kou reassures Futaba that Narumi is only his friend. He's the only one who understands what she's going through, and knows how hard it is. Futaba understands his position, but she also knows that there is no space for her in Kou's life at the moment. When Kou's phone rings and it's about Narumi, her suspicions are confirmed. Kou's brother calls him to say that Narumi ran away from home, though she lied to Kou that she was there to see her mother. Now the police are involved, because she's underage. Kou quickly leaves to go after her, and Futaba follows. Kou arrives in a huff, feeling awful that he left Narumi alone for his own selfish reasons. Narumi hugs him and cries. Futaba finally arrives and watches Kou hugging Narumi. Kou sees her, but averts his gaze. Futaba feels him pulling back again, and she can't take it. She's ready to go running after him when Kikuchi shows up, stopping her. Futaba wants to talk to Kou again, to find out what is going to happen. She watches as Narumi leaves, then she approaches Kou. She wants to know if his feelings are real or not. Kou takes a long time to answer. His biggest wish is to be with Futaba, to confess his love for her once and for all. There's another promise holding him back, though. In an unhealthy way, he sees himself in Narumi. Narumi knows he feels like that, and uses his feelings of guilt to manipulate him. She wants Kou to be with her, no matter what. Kou finally comes up with a decision. He turns to Futaba and denies his feelings for her. His words hurt Futaba, but not for the reason he thinks. She knows he's lying. She can see right through his mask. It's disappointing that he's choosing Narumi. By now, Futaba already knows that he feels guilty about his mother, and he tries to overcompensate for it. While the couple talks, Kikuchi watches from a distance. Kou disappears again for a week. Kaminato explains that he's helping Narumi deal with her grief and family issues. When Futaba hears it, she confesses that she wants to bring Kou's smile back. Before Narumi showed up, he had been slowly getting better. Later on, Futaba decides there's only one person who can help Kou. Futaba meets Narumi and asks for her to leave Kou alone, explaining that her presence isn't healthy for him. Narumi believes Futaba wants Kou for herself, but Futaba only wants him to be happy. Sadly, Narumi refuses to let go of him, because he's the only one she's got left. Afterward, Futaba is depressed. She's tired of having to fight tooth and nail for Kou. She wants to be happy and cheerful again. Her friends think she can't give up on Kou, or let Narumi win. If she truly wants to help him, she needs to try harder. The next day, she waits for Kou at the end of class. They go to a bridge, where Futaba finally confesses her feelings to Kou. She's ready to be rejected. She wants him to say no, so she can move on. Then she can focus on being his friend and helping him. Her confession is like an arrow straight to Kou's heart. It's so hard for him to not be selfish and say that he loves her too. He has to swallow down the words as they rise to his mouth. After a moment of calming himself, he rejects her feelings. Futaba plasters on a fake smile and thanks him. Kou watches with a lump in his throat as his first love walks away. Narumi calls him again, and he wants to throw the phone away in frustration. Meanwhile, Futaba allows her feelings to stream down her face, not caring if someone sees her crying. Kou meets Narumi. The girl looks lost. Kou hands her the train tickets for her to go back home. Before she goes, he wants to make sure she has no weird expectations about his feelings toward her. But Narumi doesn't allow him to speak. She manipulates him again, and Kou falls for it. Her words send Kou back to when he found out his mother passed away. He feels sad, depressed, and miserable in her presence, just like Futaba predicted he would. The following day, Futaba looks different, more feminine. Her friends are shocked when they see her. When she's alone with Kikuchi later on, she explains that she wants to look more feminine and cute. Kikuchi assumes she's doing it because she wants to move on from Kou. She confides in him that she has no idea how to move on. But Kikuchi does. She needs to find a rebound. He likes her and wants to be with her, so he offers himself as an option. After his confession, Futaba is even more confused. She doesn't see Kikuchi as a potential boyfriend, and she isn't sure she's ready yet. Later, she confesses to her friend that when she's with Kikuchi, she doesn't think about Kou as much. Her friends, especially Muro, don't know if that's a good idea. Moving on, Kaminato wants to talk to Kou. After Narumi showed up, he claimed up and isolated himself again. Like Futaba, he also thinks Narumi isn't a good influence on Kou. Together, instead of moving on, they wallow in self-pity and sadness. He's also worried that Kou will regret letting Futaba go if she finds someone else. Kou is touched that Kaminato is worrying about him. He confesses that with Kaminato and their other friends, he feels almost like his old self. Narumi made him realize that he hasn't forgiven himself yet. His answer only makes Kaminato sadder. He feels as hopeless as Futaba. Tired of seeing her friends so sad because of Kou, Muro decides to intervene. Kou needs closure. There's a school excursion to another city, and Kaminato asks their teacher to change it to Kou's old city. He thinks that if they go there, with Futaba's help, Kou can finally move on from his past. After Kou finds out about the trip, he asks Narumi to meet him there. As he's leaving school to go home, he sees Futaba alone in the library. He approaches her, and she puts her hand on the closed window to try and talk to him. Surprising both of them, Kou puts his hand above hers. He stares at her longingly before Kikuchi interrupts them. Kou hands Futaba the paper about the excursion and then leaves. He knows he has no right to be so angry at Kikuchi and Futaba, but he can't control his feelings of resentment. He resents his mother for leaving him, his brother and his father for not being there for him when he needed them, Narumi for being so needy, and Futaba for being so pushy. After Kou leaves, Kikuchi, jealous and desperate, kisses Futaba. He promises her that he won't leave her if she chooses him. Futaba takes a moment to think about it. Kikuchi and Futaba walk home together, while Kou goes home alone. The day of the excursion finally arrives. Futaba sits next to Kou in the bus, but they don't talk. In the evening, Kaminato gets angry with Kou because he's planning to meet Narumi. He is sick of Kou choosing the wrong girl. Meanwhile, the girls tell Futaba that she needs to help Kou fight against his past. Futaba sees herself at a crossroads. On one hand, she promised Kikuchi she would give him a chance. On the other, she wants to help Kou. The next day, Kou and Futaba go to his old neighborhood. It's very painful for him, because everywhere he looks, he sees his mother. Futaba is ready to be there to fully support him. Kou confesses that the reason that he feels so guilty is because it took him a long time to realize his mother was sick. She probably felt very lonely. Futaba suggests that Kou goes with her to the places his mother frequented, to see if he truly regrets everything. Kou hesitates at first, but after she grabs him by his ear, he relents. They walk around the neighborhood, and Kou remembers precious moments with his mother. Moments where he was there for her, when they were happy and having fun. When they reach his house, Kou smiles softly and admits that, weirdly enough, he can only remember good moments. They go to the church his mother went to every week, and the priest recognizes him. He allows Kou to read his mother's prayers, and he's surprised to see that she always thought about him. Never once did she complain. What's more, she wished he was happy and healthy, that he always smiled. Kou starts crying when he realizes that he is doing the opposite of what his mother wished for him. When twilight arrives, Kou meets with Narumi. After the day he spent with Futaba, he knows what he has to do. Narumi is at their old school. She remembers when Kou arrived, how sad and lonely he looked. He also had a habit of writing on the desk. One day, she was curious to see what he wrote, and it was Futaba's name. Seeing it is painful for her, but she realizes that Kou's heart belongs to Futaba, and it's time for her to stop being selfish. She calls Futaba to say that Kou has always loved her. Later, she sees Kou for the last time. Futaba also has her moment with Kikuchi. He finally realized that she would never stop loving Kou. Futaba receives a message from Kou that he wants to watch the sunrise with all their friends again. She finds him alone. Their friends decide to allow them their moment and don't show up. As the sun rises, Kou admits to Futaba that he's loved her since middle school. Gazing deep into her eyes, he claims he doesn't even know how to like someone else. He calls her his hero for always coming to his rescue. They kiss right as the sun shows up in the sky. Before, Futaba compared Kou's feelings to the sky before sunrise. Hard to figure out if it was another day coming or night falling. Now, things are very clear for her. Kou loves her, and he won't be stuck in his past anymore.
And that's where the story ends. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more recaps like this. And check the suggested videos that YouTube thinks you will enjoy.